Razorsharp is a character who has a really weird trend of constantly being recycled in various ways. She is Raelene Sharp. Seriously? She would debut in Bloodbath Special Issue 2 for 1993. Ray was a part of a group known as Psyba-Rats, a group of hackers, hired by a man known as the Collector to break into Win Enterprises, where they would of course run into Robin, who at the time was Tim Drake, and he scared off the teen hackers. This group was apparently really dangerous, being known as to steal information and cause espionage. But Robin interfered, and they ran away. So when they update the Collector, he isn't exactly happy to hear they failed, and straight up kills off half the group. While Ray herself is lucky to have been one of those who survived, they were caught up in the Bloodlines parasites during the Earth Breakout event in the 90's, which activates metagenes, which actually sounds a lot like Lazarus Planet. Well, Ray has a metagene now, and she got powers from this, gained the power similar to that of the villain from Terminator, with the cyber blade hands, or is actually able to turn any of her limbs into blades. But she really only ever uses her hands and arms to do this, or at least at first, but later on she would use her fingertips a little bit. So I suppose she could do that with any body part of hers? It's a little unclear because they say she can, but she never does except for her hands, arms, and fingers. Ray is the only member of Psyba-Rats who got powers, so along with his team they went after the Collector wanting revenge. But Robin followed them into the Collector's operation. He sees that the Psyba-Rats aren't exactly the bad guys, so he helps them fight the Collector, who nearly kills Robin when he tosses him out a window. But Ray jumps after him and saves his life, and gaining his trust. After it all, the Collector is defeated. Ray as a character seems like something that DC really wanted to happen in the 90's, because in 1995, she was a part of two teams, both of which got their own miniseries. She was added to the team called Blood Pack, a team of metas who got their powers during the Bloodline parasites, which got their own miniseries, as well as did the Psyba-Rats, being given their own miniseries as well, of which she was the main character of. And Robin was of course also in it because, they wanted the book to sell. The Psyba-Rats would come into conflict with both Robin and Catwoman in the miniseries. Well, the Blood Pack was a bigger team roster, meaning she didn't really get to do much, but she did grow some friendships over there with characters like Sparks. Well, the Psyba-Rats would turn to more of an anti-hero group. Sometimes they fought villains, sometimes they fought heroes, which they would do when they faced off against Young Justice, when they were hired to break into their HQ. However, years passed, and both groups were just gone now, and hardly ever mentioned. Razorsharp herself never really showed up. It wasn't until the mid-2000s when she finally returned. And it's unfortunate. This happened in Infinite Crisis. The entirety of Blood Pact was reunited, bringing back the old team. But it wasn't for a while, because Superboy Prime just saw the group, and he murdered all of them, which include Razorsharp. This was likely to raise the stakes, because they couldn't have him kill off main characters at the time. So they instead brought the team back from the 90's just so they could kill them off. She would, however, return as a zombie in Blackest Night, but really only in the background. She would return in 2016 after Flashpoint, where DC would try to bring back the Blood Pack, which was a 6-issue miniseries called Bloodlines. This time around, Razorsharp's powers are more like that of Morrow from the Marvel Universe. She's a high schooler who discovers that she has metahuman abilities. She gains her friendship with Sparks again, along with characters like Loose Cannon and Gunfire. And when we first meet her, we can tell that she can't control her powers, having accidentally stabbed a man in the hand. However, as the series goes on, we see that she is more or less under control. However, this series didn't really go as well as planned, and she was never seen afterwards. Unless you count reprints, which I do not. She would make her live-action debut in the CW's Flash show, where she would appear in literally one scene, being a metahuman who is being hunted by Cicada, who he kills. I'm not entirely sure why they brought her in for this scene. The show has made multiple new characters, and it feels like this didn't have to be a comic book character, it could have been a throwaway character. Perhaps it didn't be a reference, but if anyone really liked the character of Razorsharp from the comics, they might be a bit disappointed to see the fact that when she finally makes it to live action, or just other media in general, that she's immediately killed off. Razorsharp as a character in general, in my opinion, is okay. I think if you grew up in the 90's and you read about the character, you most likely would like her more, because you grew up with her. I personally did not, but after doing research, I think that she is a pretty okay character. If she was to return, I personally would be okay with that, but if she doesn't, I am also okay with that too. And I did like the 2016 reboot, even if it didn't exactly go as well as DC probably hoped. And that's it. Like always, please like, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Bye!